live stuff works. I've never done one of these before, so yeah, oh man, it has been forever since I've made a video. Obviously, I'm just talking to myself right now, but I figured this live thing, let's try this out. So if anybody's watching this on the replay, what have I been doing? Basically the same stuff I've always done. You know, budget, save, invest, repeat. Budget, save, invest, repeat. However, I did sign up, excuse me. I did sign up for the Fetch reward card, and that thing is awesome. I started using it in beginning of December, and I've already cashed out $100 in for Amazon already within basically a month. So that thing is awesome. You rack up fetch points quick. So I'm going to see if there's a limit on that. I've been using that for basically everything. If I have anything I have an expense for, I just use that fetch card. And yeah, I'm not sure what the interest rate is. I'm not sure anything on that because I pay it off every 2 weeks when I get paid. And it is, so I don't get charged interest, you know, so hey, but looks like we got one person in here. I don't even know if this chat works. So I'm gonna press some buttons. I'm gonna figure this live stream stuff out. What's that? Chat filter. I don't even know what that is. None. Excuse me. Sorry, this is so bouncy. I'm at work. I thought I had a little camera tripod in there, but I don't. So, like I said, man, I haven't made a video in what is it? It's 2026 now. I didn't make a video all of 2025. I think the video before that was like June of 2024. So, you know what? I figured I'm just sitting here, might as well do it. Hit this live, figure this stuff out. I have no clue if there's a chat or if anybody's chatting. So if anybody's there, just type a thumbs up in the chat box or something. I gotta figure out how to read in the chat and stuff like that. I don't know nothing about these lives. So it's showing me I have 4 people on here with 3. Oh, there we go. And that's Russian Moody Toast. Hey, what's up, man? You look like Lee No. Yeah. Well, my name's Leroy, so that's close. But so what have I been doing? I think last year my finances completely body slammed me. I had a goal of I wanted $2,500 in my savings for my emergency fund. It's at like $70. Russian Moody, I am a truck driver. So basically I drive a whole bunch and then sit around. Like right now I'm sitting around. So I figured I could have gone out and walked, but it's actually a really nice day. It's 45 degrees here, which is crazy for January. And I just didn't want to walk around in a bunch of slush. So mostly we got a bunch of snow on the ground, and instead of actually doing something where I was getting some exercise, I figured I'd just sit in the truck and do nothing. So, and then while I was doing nothing, I'm like, hey, let's start a live. Let's do a video. You know, the longest distance is from the couch to the door. So it's been a while since I've done a video. I figured I'd just jump in feet first, right into the deep end, do a live, figure it out. So, but yeah, I drive truck. That's about it. I drive truck and finances. So, what else have I been doing? Oh, I did a financial coaching class. If you followed me on Facebook, I was a little bit active on Facebook, a little bit on my 40 and Broke channel, or my 40 and Broke page, but I haven't done much on that yet. So I was actually financially coaching. I did a group coach channel for some people in a halfway house, and that was pretty cool. I learned quite a bit doing that, um, setting up some more of those. But other than that, I've just been working. Work's been crazy. This week, I don't think I've had a day under 12 hours, so which is good because over the holidays, my paycheck really took a hit, which means my finances took a hit, which once again, that brings me back to the three most important things you can do: budget, expense track, and save. So I always write out a written budget. I've been doing this for, well, probably since about 2016, 2000, right around there. And I try to do a written budget every time I get paid. So when I write down the budget, it's basically telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. I believe Jim Rohn said that, and it is an amazing quote. So I always use that. And whenever I don't do a budget, I just feel like my money's all haphazard. I don't know what I did with it. So, and then expense tracking, I say that's the most powerful tool in your finance toolkit because it tells you where your money went. So instead of saying, oh, well, I budgeted out all my money, everything should have been good, it's not good, what happened? Well, you got your expense tracking that says, hey, this is what you spent your money on. And then that way you can fix things that need fixed. I write it all down. I'm going to reach down here into my lunch pail. I always keep one of these in my lunch pail. I guess you can't see it. It's a 24-month planner, just a calendar. And let me find the page. So, if the truck starts moving, it feels like they're finally starting to load me. So what I'll do is I'll write down everything I spent money on. So I've got to write down the stuff I spent money on yesterday. Yesterday was awesome. I have well water because I live out in the country. So the bladder on my well went out and I had to go buy a new one. And that was an awesome $350 expense. But fortunately, I budget for stuff and I had money set aside. So I was able to, I didn't have to go into debt. That's the best thing. I've always said that's the best thing about budgeting your money, getting your finances under control, is that, like Dave Ramsey said, if you have an emergency, it becomes a nuisance instead of an emergency. So instead of it being life ending, just end of the world, now it's just a nuisance. Like this bladder that I have to fix, it's just a nuisance. Taking the time I have to do it. So I've been doing that. Even though I haven't been doing videos, I've been doing I still budget, I still expense track, I'm still saving. I changed my 401k over to Roth IRA. I think that's going to be a game changer for my stuff. And I've been watching it go up pretty good because I actually had a financial planner come over to my house and look over my stuff. And which is funny because whenever I'd say that, people would be like, dude, you're a financial coach. You do all that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a financial coach. I'm not a financial planner. There's a difference, I can show you how to budget, save, stuff like that. But when it comes down to what to invest in, how to invest, the nitty-gritty parts of your 401k, I don't care about all the details. I don't want to get into that. I will send somebody else. I'll have somebody else do that. And I will say this, that financial planner that I talked to, by the time they were done, I was setting up a whole life insurance plan, that whole bank on yourself that Garrett Gunderson talks about. So for $100 a month, I've got a whole life insurance plan that I'm using for the whole building wealth, bank on yourself stuff. That guy's pretty knowledgeable, so I'll give him that. That was good. So I've done that. Let's see. a year and a half worth of stuff, and trying to think of what I did. Oh, I bought a truck. So I bought a truck. And I think that's kind of where my finances went downhill, because I cashed out an investment account I had in order to pay the truck completely off. So I bought a GMC 2009 GMC Sierra diesel, and for 15 grand cashed out my one of my investment accounts. So it's going to be awesome when I do my taxes this year. But that thing really came in handy. So it's been a pretty good truck. And sorry, I'm watching this guy back up and his door's open. I was wondering if he's going to rip it off, but no, he's getting out of his truck to hook it. I tell you what, some of these truck drivers, I wish I should live stream just truck drivers backing into docks, because it's either frustrating when you're sitting there watching them, or man, they do some of the dumbest stuff. I've seen people just back into trailers, back into other trucks, pull forward, and then back into the truck again, then pull forward and back. Like they hit the truck like 3 times, or hit a trailer like 3-4 times back. It just, sometimes I wonder how they pass their CDLs. So, but most of these guys are stealing. Oh, it's a tongue twister. Say that 10 times fast. Steering wheel holders. So, but okay. So what else have I done? If you've watched this channel before, Josie, my daughter's been on here, and what's she been up to? Oh, telling me I need to make videos again. So here you go, Josie. I'm making a video again. Same for you, Triton. Making a video. What else? Yeah, it's just basically life. Life is life, and it's been crazy. It was hectic. It was busy. Like I said, I ended up fixing this van up that we had, that I bought from my oldest. And so I got that all fixed up, and that cost me an arm and a leg. So that really killed the momentum I had between buying that truck and the fixing up the van. That really killed a lot of the momentum I had with my emergency fund. So that was rough. But once again, this is my year to rebuild it back up. I said last year was going to be my year to rebuild. This is definitely going to be my year to rebuild again. So I've been basically just trying to tighten back up. I got to make some write some emails, because I want to get those financial coaching classes going again, seeing if they want me to volunteer to do those financial coaching classes. I've got a guy that wants to talk to me this weekend about some of the stuff he wants to set up so he can get his stuff in order. And it's just, I don't know. I haven't been talking a lot finances. I haven't been doing a lot of finances. I think the one biggest thing is why I stopped making the videos. You feel like a hamster in a wheel, You're just, how many times can I make the same video, budget, save, or budget, expense track, save, budget, expense track, save. And I understand that is literally the meat and potatoes of it. It's not difficult. There's no super, secret formula that, all these billionaires had in order to get rich and stuff like that. I mean, it all boils down to budget, expense track, save. And that's what I did the financial coaching class. It was 6 classes. I did it once a week. It was 6 classes. We were there for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And that was, we'd just be talking, just shooting the bull or whatever, and uh, just talking to each other. But I would tell them, I was like, the basics are, they would ask me, oh, what do you invest in? What do you invest in? Well, I don't invest in anything spectacular. If I buy it, I invest in it. If I shop there, I invest in it. My wife spends a bunch of money at Dollar General, so I've got stock in Dollar General. There's two gas stations in my town. Sunoco, Shell, and then there's a Marathon by us. So I invest in those. Anywhere I shop, that's what I invest in. So it's like, I'm not doing a whole lot. And I'm like, if your finances are a train wreck where you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't even need to be thinking about investing. You need to get your money under control so you have money to invest. And I would tell them, budget, expense track, save. Those are the 3 most important things you can do. If you can budget your money, do a written budget. That's the most important thing you can do is a written budget. It tells your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So when I write down my budget, which looks literally like this, I think this is just a piece of scrap paper that I have. Just a piece of scrap paper. And it's got my budget on it. Boom, that simple. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, And so that's my budget. Just something stupid simple. And then I expense track. I use one of these daily planners, and I just write down, like it says, I went to the IGA, which is a grocery store. I spent $70. I went to Walmart, spent $100. Walmart, $30 for my cats. Aldi, $70. Chuck's, $50. Qdoba, $35, and I put $45 in gas. I write it down so that way I know where my money goes. And then I save. And I try to save first. I always put into my 401k obviously goes first, but I also try to set aside money to put into an emergency account. So I have an emergency fund in case anything pops up. I can spend that instead of putting on a credit card and having to pay interest on it, but the other thing I do is if you know how you are spending money, then I use credit cards. Unlike Dave Ramsey tells you not to use credit cards, I use a credit card. Like I said at the beginning of this live, I signed up for the Fetch credit card, and every time I use that credit card, I get a whole bunch of Fetch points. So I've already cashed out $100 to Amazon in 30 days. I mean, I can't remember the last time I paid for an Amazon order because I use Fetch points. I use all the stuff like that. And then once I got this credit card, it just became a game changer. So, but it looks like, you know what? I've been on here for 20 minutes rambling. People are on and off. So, looks like Russian Moody Toast, the only person that gave me some comments. So, hey, I appreciate you on that, man. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to finish this up and then figure out how to stop it. And maybe I'll start doing these videos more often if I'm sitting more often at my stop. So, all right, everybody, like I always say, I'm here to try to help you to save, invest, and get your finances under control so that, you know what? It's been so long since I've done a video. I don't even know what it is. 40 and broke, I'm all about, saving, investing, and getting our finances under control so we can live the life we've always dreamed of, because that's what it's all about, living the life we've always dreamed of. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to get off here, and everybody that's on here, thanks for getting on here. Everybody that's watched it later, thanks for watching it. Y'all have a good day.